Hello everyone, welcome back to another puzzle that I've made, which involves a brilliant knight sacrifice. And possibly the two rooks will also have to be sacrificed to force a checkmate as well. In this position, black is threatening checkmate on h7 and on h8. And he's also threatening to possibly take this pawn. And in this position, black is also down a knight and a bishop, and probably two pawns in the future. It might seem that black has to play bishop to h4 to maybe block out the queen and the rook's attack. But if the queen takes the bishop, then black can probably play pawn to f6 and make an escape square in case if black plays queen to h7 or h8. And this might seem like the best solution, but it's not, because white can actually play the brilliant move knight to c3. And if the king goes to a1, then this is simply checkmate, and the queen is supported by the knight. So black is basically forced to accept the sacrifice. Next, white can bring the rook into the attack by playing rook to b8. And if black goes king to a1, then the dark square bishop joins the attack with checkmate, and these squares are blocked by the rook. So the king really has to block with the bishop. And now comes another important part in this puzzle. And now if we go bishop to c3 to threaten some attack, then there's always mate threats here, so we can't do that. And instead we can sacrifice our rook by playing rook takes the bishop. And the king cannot go to a1 because this is checkmate. So the king has to either take the rook or go to c1. Let's see what happens if the king goes to c1. We can yet again sacrifice again. And since king to b1 leads to checkmate like this, black is basically forced to take. And now we can bring the queen into the attack by playing queen to a2, leaving black with only one move. And now it'll be basically a checkmate within a few more moves after this. King to d2 will just lead to a quicker mate. And if the king goes to c2, then we can take the pawn, and the queen is supported by the bishop, leaving white with only one move, and it'll be mate. And if the king goes to b1 on the first move, then we can play rook to b8, bring the other rook into the attack, and once again it'll be mate like this. And so basically white is forced to take the rook. And after it takes the rook, we can bring the other rook into the attack with rook to b8. And if the king goes to a1, then again we can play bishop takes c3 with the same mate. So black basically has to go to c1. Now we can bring the queen into the attack. And if black plays king to d2, then this is simply mate. Well, it's not really mate since black can go back, but then there comes the second part of the puzzle. And now we can sacrifice the rook by playing rook to b1, forcing black to take. And after black takes, we can simply play queen to b2 checkmate on probably the 8th move of the puzzle. This puzzle took a pretty long time to make since it has all these different variations. And I couldn't really make this a brilliant, and it will only give a best move. But now it's a brilliant, so I hope you like this puzzle. And if you did, please check out my other videos and be sure to like and subscribe for more. I'll see you all in the next video.